Hey guys, it's your host again of the Chomp Daily. Hope you guys are doing well as always. I know it's been a few days. It's been well over a week, and it's just been mainly just because I've been finishing up some stuff for classes, just so I can go on break. And really, on top of that, I've not been feeling the best for about the past 4 days. I may or may not have gotten food poisoning. It's starting to slowly, calm down, but I wanted to at least get us warmed up with a news video. Just because I do have a lot of videos coming up in the next few days that I'm going to be posting back to back to back. Especially with Cobblemon, our Minecraft and Pokemon server that we have. And if you guys are interested in that, just let me know down below. But as always, like, subscribe, obviously favorite, and then hit that bell button. It's all free. And, it just takes 2 seconds to do, because despite the amazing support you guys give, I think only 2% of you that view are actually subscribed. We're growing. We're at 154 subscribers, and that's huge to me. I mean, considering how new this channel is. But I'll quit my rambling, and we'll get into some news, because this is strictly Pokemon. I'm not going to be going over some drama with Nintendo, right now, especially with the Nintendo Switch 2. We're going to strictly stick to the bread and butter, and that's Pokemon. So we're just really speculating right now when the actual pre-orders are going to be. We already know, when it's going to release. We already got a confirmation for that, but a lot of people want to know when our pre-orders are going to happen. I will just say this here, the game will release in October, but pre-orders happens obviously several months beforehand, and obviously with the Nintendo Switch, a lot of their new pre-orders are going to be on June 5th going forward. That leaves room for interpretation for Legends ZA. So we're going with Soul Silver art here, which says, I don't want to give false hope, but pre-orders of Pokemon Legends ZA go live on June 5th, the same day that the Nintendo Switch 2 launches. I think we could get a small ZA trailer between now and the Presents, July 22nd, which that's when that Presents comes up, obviously. Maybe even next week, he even goes on to say. Then goes on to mention, this would be a trailer that shows off Emma and what's the box art now that they have revealed, which is obviously this one. And they say that feels like something they want to do more so in a expansive type trailer, just explaining more about what the game is going to entail, more than what they've already showed us. And then he just finishes off with this would also go line up with the rumored trailer we heard about from the unreliable sources, which we won't get into, but it would make sense. And when we look at this art is quite fantastic, especially with the Mega Skizor there, and with our homeboy the Zygarde cell. I do know in the official release art for the box, the physical copy, I even think for the online copy, our boy Zygarde isn't even in it. I know people were joking about that, saying his own game doesn't even show him off. But you see a whole bunch. You even see that Mega Salmons within the background there. But the art is nice, and we obviously have these two here, which I'll let you guys interpret. But there's a lot of what ifs on who this is, and I will not get into it more because I'll definitely do a video on that. We'll do a whole entire speculation, and even with Looker, our favorite Pokemon detective, Looker. But honestly, this art looks great, and for a reveal, it is quite nice. Now we go on to Soul Silver. Now Soul Silver is kind of rejoicing because they originally did say, that it was going to come out in October, and on October 16th, which is fall 2025, Pokemon Presents, and with the Pokemon Presents be on July 2nd, 22nd, sorry. And then plus the box art, he's been back to back with all these predictions, and he's been correct. And you just talk about, how does it feel real and everything, but it really makes sense. Just with how they're planning this out, Nintendo tries to keep things on like a very fundamental level, to where it's not going to be too soon to pre-order, but it's going to be where you can pre-order, but not to the point where you're waiting forever. I mean, if you pre-order in July, that's not that long of a wait. It may sound like it is, but it really isn't. I mean, at most you're waiting 3 months. So I definitely look forward to just seeing if it's actually going to be able to pre-order in June or even July. And then obviously in this art, people are saying that this is Looker, especially with the more masculine hand. This art that just really the screenshot he used is just not the best quality. But no, this hand's what everyone's speculating on. But we can't say too much yet. And obviously like this is the order. Pre-orders open June 5th, then it presents July 22nd, then released on October 16th. The Switch version is cheaper at $60, while the Nintendo Switch version is going to be a bit steep at $70, which I'm going to buy. I know people are having an issue with the price hike, and I definitely get it. I'm not going to argue there. I do think that the price hike is kind of odd. I don't gotta worry, but for some, they may. But I already have my Nintendo Switch pre-ordered. I was a lucky one. And now I'm just going to pre-order Legends ZA once I can. And now we're just really going to move on to just some confirmed Mega Evolutions. We know that Mega Evolution is probably one of the biggest gimmicks we've ever had introduced to this series. And obviously everyone is excited about it. But CenturyLinks comes with us here, a number of people posting this image saying that the official website confirmed that all Megas are back. Now again, CenturyLink does say that this is false. The website doesn't mention such thing. They are lying to you for engagement. The site doesn't mention which Megas will be returning to Pokemon Legends ZA. And he hits it wrong. There is a chance that we may miss out on some of these, which I highly doubt. But it doesn't confirm every single Mega, nor every single, confirmed, I guess, returning Mega. There is no proof to it. We do know that these Mega Evolutions exist. Their likelihood to be added is extremely high. I mean, there's no doubt to it. Plus the new ones. But just be careful, because there is no confirmation that every single one of them is coming back. But there should be no reason why there shouldn't be. I mean, especially if they're adding new Mega Evolutions, there should be no reason why we would not get all these plus more. I know that I'm quite excited for Mega Salamence and Metagross to return. I love those designs. I love Mega Garchomp's design. I just wish it was more usable in battle. I mean, honestly, regular Garchomp is just as good, if not better. Because of that speed stat, Obviously, Mega Lucario, you can't hate on Mega Lucario now. And honestly, all these Mega Evolutions, I think, are just cool. I mean, sure, there's some that I like more than others, but there's none that I dislike. I guess I could say the Latios and Latias. Their Megas are kind of boring. But I like the design, but it's like Latios should have got that base design, while Latias got its own different design. But that's just me. That's my own opinion. But I think other people would agree. But no, I just personally look forward to this. I really do. And I do hope that these are all confirmed, which I most certainly believe that they all are. But I'm not going to speak for Nintendo, because that they do random stuff all of the time. Now, we're going to go into the prices again. I just wanted to leave us off here with some pricing. More so just so you guys can prepare with what to expect when buying these games, especially if you're in Europe or if you're in the US like I am. So we have the physical and digital, which means that, you know, they're both going to be that price no matter what. Now, I do know with Europe it's going to be a little bit different, but for the US, the physical and digital are going to be the same price. Obviously, for the Nintendo Switch, as we know, it's going to be $60, and then for Nintendo Switch 2, it is going to be $70. And then, obviously, if you look at here, they just have just the digitals up, and the physical prices are to be, you know, assigned when they can. You know, they're expected to be, you know, 10 more than what they currently have. So, if that's the case, then Europe is kind of getting boned. I mean, maybe not. I don't know, but their digital copy for the Nintendo Switch 2 right now is sitting at $70. It will be up to $80. But again, I don't necessarily know how that translates. You know, if not that being the same as us, and even with some of them here, like we can see like the differential here. So I'm going to assume that it's pretty similar to what the US is getting, and just translated, you know, over to your guys' stuff. And sure, the price hike people are going to complain about, and it's valid. I mean, if you guys looked at the previous video I did just talking about the recent controversy with Nintendo, I went over a video that featured Mutahar, which obviously go show him love. I mean, I don't think he needs me to tell you that just because he's big enough and he's awesome, but still, go over to him and show him love just because he's awesome. He made a really down-to-earth video. There were a lot of things I disagreed on him with. Not everything, because there was a lot that I agreed on him with as well. I mean, I was kind of split 50-50. And with the whole Nintendo situation, half of me defends Nintendo, half of me does not, because I do believe how Nintendo is handling their legal team and the class action stuff is just not good. I mean, they need to be a little bit more mature about that. But that's my only gripe, I guess. And really, outside of that, it isn't really a topic I'm going to be hitting on too much more, just because it's like all controversies, it's going to eventually fade away, at least of this magnitude. I mean, it's really not that serious. But on a side note, before we wrap things up, I just think that a lot of the people that are angry about how Nintendo is taking physical action against consoles for, pirating and hacking and just overall cheating the system, I think people that are mad about that are just childish. I just think people are angry that Mr. Big Bad Billionaire Company is telling them you can't do this and we will physically break your console because you ain't listening and we've tried again and you keep on undermining us. And I kind of agree with that. Like, if I was a company, I don't think I would go as aggressive as they have been, but I would definitely make it almost impossible for you to play on that console, because what pushed Nintendo to this point was the fact of that big leaker that got a hold of so many of the Legends ZA and Gen 10 info and was trying to spread it around Discord. If you know that entire controversy, they also, I guess, had access to employee files from Nintendo and Game Freak, mostly Game Freak, and that's just not cool. And Nintendo has directly referenced that this is part of the reason that they're doing this. And if you can't understand them being aggressive because of people trying to threaten their own employees, then honestly, they're not the problem. And I'm not saying that they're not at fault. They definitely are, for the entire clause and handling just people trying to sue them. I did disagree with that, but them bricking your console, I'm sorry, but the only reason why your console's being bricked is if they actually find physical proof that you're either cheating, you're exploiting the games, or you're pirating. And they have strictly said they're not just going to randomly brick people's consoles unless they find that you actually did something, which is, obviously, as I mentioned already, the three main things. Like, They said that they would have to find physical proof that you did it. And if they do find out or have a reasonable suspicion that you're cheating or pirating or just hacking and breaking the system, then they're going to brick your console. And I'm sorry, but I agree with that. And with people out there saying, well, that's such a big brother mentality, it really isn't. Like, I'm going to be real. It isn't, because you are ruining everyone else's fun by being a quote-unquote rebel. You have no right to be a rebel in this situation. I'm sorry, but you don't. I mean, this is just a simple request for them just to stop pirating. And then the whole thing going around Twitter saying, well, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. That's not how that works. That simply isn't. Because just because you buy something does not mean there aren't set legal rules you have to follow. And those legal rules have to be set by either by the law that governs your country, or by or just by the company themselves. And the company themselves plus other countries have come in favor of this. Mostly Nintendo as a company has come in favor of their own policies, obviously. But I would just keep that in mind. The only reason why they're doing this is because other people are ruining everyone else's fun. And if it wasn't for that big leak, I don't think we would have been in this situation. So I'm just saying, as you go forward, I would dispute against Nintendo's actions when it comes to lawsuits and being able to confront them. I agree with that, but for the whole entire bricking thing, I think we do need to be a little bit more understanding. You know, that's just my take, because I see where Nintendo's coming from. Is it aggressive? Yeah. But honestly, if I was Nintendo, with all the stuff that the Nintendo community has put Nintendo through, I don't blame them. I really don't blame them at this rate. But you know, that's just my take. You know, you can either love it or hate it. I will accept your opinion no matter what. I won't hate your opinion. I won't hate you if you disagree with what I said. As opinions are opinions, and I value them all. So, but I want to wrap this up here. Just getting off that little drama, just so we can just move past it and just enjoy the games that are coming to us. Especially with Pokémon Legends ZA, which I will be streaming and just really posting to this channel quite often once I get my hands on it, which I'm excited for. But no, just let me know down in the comments what you think of the video. Like and subscribe as always. Don't forget to hit that bell button, just so you guys are informed of when I post. I'm going to be posting a lot this week and going through the weekend. I do have tomorrow off, so I'll most likely post tomorrow. Just because I'm still not feeling well and I have to wait an extra day before I'm allowed back. But be a chomp be a chomp above the rest, and I hope to hear back from you. See ya.